The Joe Rogan Experience.
Ripping them apart like...
Do you imagine that used to be show business? You used to be like in a covered wagon. You'd pull into town. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around. And there was a show. And then, you have a minstrel show and people would sing and do puppets and there'd be a play. And when do you think the first guy got up and told jokes and made people laugh? Like, when was our first?
Oh, who's that guy? He wrote that great book on the history of stand-up. And it was a guy like Frank Fay or something like that. Was the first guy that went out there. Like, I don't need to have like a fucking hula hoop and spinning plates. And he just went out and was like, I'm just going to tell stories and make them like, he kind of did a monologue type of thing. But
he was the first guy.
If I have it right, I think it was the 20s. And then in the 40s, he was actually on the side of the fascists. He was a fascist. Yeah, there was people.
Really?
Yeah, there was people in this country that, didn't think what those guys were doing was necessarily wrong, which really, if you look at the history, forget about this country or humanity, like there's always been that. So what fucked his career, if I'm remembering this correctly, this could be like fucking, I hope I'm saying the right guy. He ended up doing this.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Frank Fay stand-up.
He did this show. All right. I guess that's earlier when he's doing the props. He's come out dressed like he's in the Foreign Legion. But he did a show right after World War II, right after he won, and it was a pro-fascist rally in New York City, and he was the big name. He signed on to do it, and the night was called the Friends of Frank Fay.
Whoa. The first stand-up comic was a fascist. How strange.
I can't say. I don't know that. But then there's other people that I got a buddy of mine that will argue that Mark Twain was.
Yeah, Samuel Clemens. Yeah.
We'll argue that he was the first stand-up. So I don't know really necessarily. I think it just sort of poked its head up and then ducked back down, like somebody improv the line. Like, hey, I did that without my hula hoop, See, and it went good, yeah.